Yes, good evening and welcome to episode 2 of the Commissioner's Lounge Potty. My name is Sonny Tyre, your SRL co-commissioner, and we are just one round into season 9. We're going to get a review and a preview of the action that's happened so far. Plenty to talk about, plenty to get into, and joining me here tonight is my good mate Riley Murray, also known as the West Tigers captain. And Riley, what a week of SRL footy. We are back in full effect. Just give us your early thoughts on how the week was with the action and all the games that happened in round one.
Yeah, thanks, Sonny. It was a very entertaining round one in the SRL. Excuse my voice, I've been going through it lately. But
You've been celebrating
yeah,
that
it's
win
been
pretty
a
hard, huh?
yeah, well, that's part of the reason it was such a good week. A good win in round one, it's always nice to be part of. Full credit to the boys, just some great work on the field there. But yeah, I love having that SRL action back. We all missed it. And it was just nice seeing how every team is, done in the off season, looking at all the huge changes in each of the teams. It's really nice to see, especially when you're starting that season. It's real fun.
Yeah, it was great to be back. We had a lot of viewership as well. I think we had over 30 live viewers tune in for the season opener. And speaking of which, we'll just jump straight into it. It was the season opener at Leichhardt Oval, the West Tigers and the Brisbane Broncos. We've actually got Captain Anthony Amack in here with us as well, so we'll get his thoughts and opinions on that game. But just a quick shout out to Amack, Jeff Keane, and Lonnie Lawrence tuning in on the supporter voice chat, live and exclusive for our Patreon supporters. So if you're not already, jump on it. Some great stuff on offer. And yeah, 32-0, Riley. I mean, you could not have asked for a better game than that. Um, just to put a little cherry on top, you actually ended up scoring the first try of Tigers history as well. So good on you for that. But yeah, what were your thoughts on that game for the Tigers and for the Broncos as well?
Yeah, well, I think that at the end of the day, we just did what we needed to. We did the right things on the field. Um, Big ups to a lot of the players in the middle. Just feel like that's where we won that battle. Just a lot of great things went our way in that game, and yeah, just full credit to the boys. It's just it was real good at the end of the day.
Yeah, I think you got really lucky off your try. A bit of cheese playing its part. No, I'm joking. That was
Bit of
it
cheese.
was
Those are beautiful kicks. Yanni Madu, shout out.
Matos. Yes. Yeah. No, it's always good to watch the new teams get up, and the record still stays intact. Every new team that's been added into the SRL from season 2 have never lost their opening game. So I don't know what it is. Maybe the sim gods just wanted to be that way because it certainly felt like that for that game. But we'll get the thoughts and opinions of the Broncos captain Anthony McDonald, who's in the chat with us. AMAC, obviously not the ideal start to the season. What did you make of that game? And what's the plan for round 2? Are you guys planning to stick with the same sort of lineup, or is there going to be any mix-ups for your game against the
Well,
Sharks?
we can't stick with the same lineup because Eddie Oliver decided to get himself binned
Oh,
towards the end of
that's
the
right.
game.
my bad.
Uh,
So we've been forced to play around just a little bit. So we're bringing young Walker into the halves, and from what we've looked at training so far, he's not doing too bad there. And we've also unfortunately going to be the first team to bring up a dev player this season. So looking forward to what young Lorenzo is going to be doing for us in the second half there.
Yeah, I did forget about that Eddie Oliver incident. Sorry to bring it back up, but that one was a huge moment of the game. Um, and yeah, Eddie, that was a tough game for him. A couple of mistakes, and your boys were down. But um, to let that one off at the end, I mean, I'm sure there were plenty of people that loved that moment. But for you, AMAC, it would have been tough. And look, we'll get your thoughts and opinions for next week's game. So I'll have you stick around here, AMAC, as we just quickly get through the rest of these games. But we'll move on. It was the Tigers 32-0 over the Bronx. After that, we had the Raiders taking on the Warriors. And to the surprise of many, the Raiders, the underdogs, actually came out on top of that one, Riley. Your thoughts on that game? 26-20 Canberra over Auckland.
Yeah, that was a massive upset. I don't think many people were expecting the Raiders to just put on the game that they did. It was some great footy to watch. At the end of the day, the Warriors just looked like they didn't have their forward pack really in that game. They look like they've taken a real hit in the off season to their forward pack, and it might be just something for them that they need to work through for the first maybe half the season to get their forward pack to full strength, get them on the right upgrades and all that, and they might find a little bit more joy for themselves. But I think that the Raiders just did a great job. No one was really expecting them to play as well as they did, and they really impressed me in round one.
Yeah, I didn't actually catch the whole game. I watched the later part in the second half, and I was surprised. I couldn't believe my eyes were not deceiving me. The Raiders were up against the Waz. So good on Wally and his boys. You know, they're coming off the back of an ordinary season, and Wally Allen is a new captain. So to start it off like that with a W, that's going to do wonders for his team, for his confidence, and we'll see if they can back it up in round two. But we'll move on. Your first Monday night footy game of the season, and what a game it was. The Cowboys and the Dogs, these two teams in the past couple of seasons have given us some absolute classics. It was 20-24, the Dogs, the defending Prems, getting over the Cowboys, but this game went right down to the wire. Jack Kyle, he took the go-ahead penalty goal with about 5-6 minutes to go. They were up by 2, 20-18, and then right at the end, at the death, Daniel Hallier puts in a grubber kick. I can't remember who scored the winner, but they got across the Dogs in the dying moments. And Mars, your thoughts on that game?
Yeah, I think that at the end of the day, hell yeah, he just had a really great moment. I think all the pressure was on him there, and he didn't falter. He did not buckle or yield. Um, he just came up with this amazing play for his halves partner in Joseph Jackson, and man, that it was just a very impressive play. I was commentating that game, and I think I was stunned. It was a really good moment for the Bulldogs there, just to get that win in round one. Just some great work from him.
Yeah, they're looking to carry on their form, the Premiers, and what a way to do it on the road, Monday night footy, prime time when the eyes are on you, and come at the hour, come at the man, Joseph Jackson and hell yeah, sending it home for the Dogs to start their season off with a win. We'll move on to Tuesday's games. It was the Titans and the Knights, with the Knights getting a narrow 2-point win. Mike Borson's over his former side alongside Luke Driscoll. The boys from Newcastle, they just did enough to scrape by. And what a game it was, Riley. You know, the Knights, I wasn't expecting too much from them, if I'm being honest, but they really turned up for this one. And what a way to start it off for Borsons.
Yeah, I'm really impressed with that performance. It was always going to be a close one, and there was a lot in this game as well, just between the two captains of the Titans. Obviously, Mike Borson's captaining the Titans last season, and then ditching the team to go over to Newcastle in season 9. And obviously, there was a bit of bad blood there between the teams. A few of those Knights boys were poached from the Titans and brought over there with Mike Borson's. So yeah, obviously heaps of bad blood, and it was just really good to see. It was a very entertaining game, I reckon.
Yeah, well said. And we'll move on to the second Tuesday game. It was the Roosters and the Dolphins doing battle at Allianz Stadium, where the Dolphins put on an imposing 36-22 win over East. And yeah, we actually commentated that game, Riley. It was a good game. I thought the scoreline doesn't really do justice. I thought the Roosters were competitive in that one, but it's the class of the Finns, the Sneeko Balbroa led side, that just know how to get the job done, and they're looking to back up last season into this season and try and go all the way this time. And that was the way to do it, to make your opening impression.
Yeah, it was some great work from him. I don't want to talk too nice to them because I'm actually going up against them this week. But yeah, Snicker and his Dolphins, they're always just good competitors. He knows what he's doing out there, and he's got some great players as well. You can't really go wrong with Chris Lord at lock. and Amatangi at the back for you. It's it's just a formula for victory, really. So yeah, it's just some great work from him. I love to see him play. They've got a bunch of great players. I love to commentate them as well. But we've also got players on the Roosters who are just very classy players who just need to find their own in this team. They haven't had much joy in the past season or so. So yeah, you just hope that they can maybe get the first win since I think rivalry round last season. I think it would really help the Roosters out and really get them, bit of bit of happiness in their lives.
Yeah, the losing streak for the Roosters continues on. I think it was 11 losses in SRL regular season games in a row. So they need to turn that thing around, and a win in round two will certainly do wonders for them. But we'll move on now. The Wednesday night games, and for the first one of Wednesday, it was the Panthers doing battle with the Rabbitohs. John Boy Mayava's Pacifica Panthers up against Joey Kelly's South Sydney Rabbitohs, and it was a dominant win from Souths, 48-18. Riley, what a game it was. I mean, that damage was already done in the first half. I think the Rabbitohs were up 20 something. And by the time John Boy Mayava came back on the field, he definitely played his part. He had an impact, and he actually scored a try, put up a clutch defensive tackle that dragged the defender out into touch. So those sorts of plays were going, but South Sydney were just firing all night. They just looked unstoppable.
Yeah, well, we have a few Panthers in the peanut gallery here, so I don't want to talk too bad on them. But yeah, the Rabbitohs, they were just really doing a great job all night. Shout out to big Justin Plays, and he was just coming up with the plays all night. 4 tries is just incredible from him on the club debut as well. That's just amazing. I think that everything that went right for the Rabbitohs, you can basically just chalk it down to the masterclass that was being performed by Justin Plays.
Yeah, Justin plays with a 4 try performance in his first game as a Rabbitoh this season, and it was great to watch for them. Jai Collins got a double, so the back line was carving up all sorts of danger. And we'll move on to the final game of the round. It was the Cronulla Sharks taking on the Melbourne Storm. A very close, tight game, but it was last season's grand finalists coming away with the Chockies 18-10. And I'll just quickly give my thoughts on that. That was one of the best defensive performances I've seen in the SRL. The Storm on the goal line, it was just like a brick wall. You couldn't get anything past them, and there were 3 prime chances that any other game we would have scored. I think Jack Jimmy put on a clutch try saver on MBT. Someone put one on Cade Cowan to stop him just a bees away from the line. But it was all going in the Storm. Riley, they're your former team, but they're just proving to the league that they're a well-oiled machine, and it doesn't really matter who they lose. They'll just keep going and continue to show us why they are one of the premier teams in the SRL.
Yeah, well, obviously they didn't need me, but yeah, I'm glad that they're still doing good. They've had a few good pickups in the off season, and the blokes that I left behind there are just really good players, really good leaders as well. I had full faith that they'd be able to soldier on without me, and they've just done a great job. I love the off season that they had. I love the work that they've been doing. I love that first round one that they had. Good things to come, I think, from the Storm. I'm very keen to, keep my eye on them throughout the season.
Yeah, and a quick shout out to everyone that's just joined us here in the chat. Chad Johnson, Kaya Four. I swear I've seen someone else, but maybe they snuck off. Just a quick comment from Lonnie Lawrence. Sonny, talk about you selling and causing an error. Look, to all the punters that jumped on Musbet 3. Oh, man, I'm sorry. I hate letting the boys down, but I mean, it's kind of your own fault if you jumped on that Musbet. Let's be honest. I mean, you had to be desperate for that one to pull off. But the funny thing is, Muzz, I actually caused that error in the opening 5 minutes, and then after that, no errors. It was a clean game. I scored a try. No one gave me flowers. I think everyone was
Should have
burnt
made
out and they
a
turned off
clause
the,
in
the
it.
game.
Should have put a clause in it for you. It's overruled if you score a try. But yeah, man.
The bonus bet.
Also, just touching back on the longest losing streak here. Did you say that the Roosters are currently on an 11-game losing streak?
I think so. They haven't won since I think it was round 3 last season.
Well, if that's the case, Sonny, then that means that they're currently tied for the longest losing streak in SRL history. And if they lose this week, or when people will be watching it this week, um, that means that they'll be standing alone at the top of the mountain, or the bottom of
Oh
the mountain,
no.
I'd say, maybe. But man, that's not a great team record to have, I guess.
Yeah, so that's gonna be a must-win game for the Roosters. I mean, geez, the fall from grace. I mean, it's quite a story, isn't it, for Matty Harris and his boys? But we won't take too many shots at them at this moment. We'll get into it when we look into the round 2 games. But yeah, what a week of footy it was, and we'll take a quick look at your season 9 ladder. And while we do that, just a quick mention to our sponsor, TBC Live. Make sure you guys go check them out if you haven't already. But yeah, we'll take a look at it. In first place, your boys Riley, the Tigers up there at number 1, South Sydney at 2, the Dolphins at 3, the Storm are at 4, Raiders 5, Bulldogs 6, Newcastle Knights 7, and Manly Sea Eagles with the bye. They managed to cheese their way into 8th spot. But I'll scroll down. In the bottom half of the ladder, we've got the Titans at 9, North Queensland at 10, the Wars at 11, Sharks at 12, Roosters 13, Panthers 14, and Brisbane 15. So that's what the ladder looks like after one round. And still plenty of action to go. Obviously, we've got another, 14 weeks of regular season. And this ladder could look drastically different by the time we get there. But yeah, Muzz, we'll get on to round 2. And first game to kick us off on Monday will be the Auckland Warriors taking on the Manly Seagulls. And Manly are going to open their season with their first game. Ruben Mobbs there to lead the way. And the Wires will be looking to bounce back after that upset loss to the Raiders. Riley, how do you see this game going? And what are you looking forward to seeing for both sides?
It's hard to say. I've been waiting to see the Seagulls play for a while now. Just a real big change in the team, and yeah, we didn't get to see them play in round 1 either. So I'm assuming that the whole team would be really keen to get out there after the 1 week longer break than everyone else. But hey, at least you don't have to worry about the bye at all for the rest of the season, so that's all right for you. For the game, though, I've got no idea what to expect. I'm just very keen to see how both teams go. It'll be a good one.
Yeah, and a quick shout out to Ruben Mobbs who just joined us right on time, mate. We're just looking into your team, and yeah, Manly, it's a new look for them. They're in a new era where KCK is no longer their captain, still a part of their team, and rightfully so. He's a club legend there, but Ruben Mobbs, I'm keen to see what he can do as a captain. He's been around for a few seasons. We all played at the Blue Tongues, me, you, and him, and to see him step up in the SRL and become one of the leaders of the league, it's great stuff. So good on you, Ruben. Hopefully you and your boys can get up there, but it's gonna be a tough slog. I'm not gonna lie. I find it very hard not to go against the Warriors. I think last week might have been an off game for them. I was expecting them to come away with a resounding win, and I think this loss might kick them into gear, might give them a bit of a boot up the backside to try and get their season going with a win. But yeah, it's going to be a great game. It's going to be a great test for Ruben Mobbs to see how they come up against a quality side like the Waz. Muzz, if you could do us a favour, if you could check the weekly tips, tell us what you've bet on and what is the majority of the punters, or who are the majority of the punters on which margin and which team.
Well, at the moment, the most betters have backed the Warriors 9-18. Me personally, I've actually decided to back the Seagulls 1-8. Got a bit of faith in them, I guess. But yeah, hope they go good. I've maybe got a bit of faith for my blue tongue brother here.
Yeah, that's the stuff. That's what you want. Blue tongues all the way. But I'll quickly go over the team list. I just forgot about it. That's what happens when you try and freeball this sort of thing last minute. But just to quickly run through the lineups, we've got Chance Bunce in at fullback, Hone King, he slots out to the wing at 2, Marcus Square 3, Aaron White 4, Josh Saddlecar at 5 on the right wing. We've got Jai McCartney, vice captain at 5'8", with Ryan Kawal at 7, Rex Slattery, Lachlan Lockyer, Joe Turner Jr. 8, 9, and 10. And for your second rows, you've got David Tiawa at 11, Stranger at 12, and Paddy Corcoran there in the middle at 13. On the bench, you've got Ginger Palm, Matthew Turner, Aka Tank making his debut, shout out to the brother, and Lincoln Riggle to round off the wild side. And for Manly, their first game under Ruben Mobbs, they've got Kane Chapman Kenny at fullback, the great Dom Young there at number 2. On your Dom, we got Mark Iron at 3, Cruz Bontoft at 4, Shannon Freeburn at 5. In the halves, you've got Kyle Lewis at 6, number 7, Lightning McQueen. And the forward pack, you've got Ollie Parche at 8, Rex Buckingham 9, Ruben Mobbs, the captain, at 10, Creed Alex Chapman 11, Freddie Anderson 12, Aaron Beckman 13. Off the bench, you've got my good mate Jason Farah, 15, Tavita Palangi, 16, Ben Punch, and 17, Damian Lockie. So that is your lineup for the Seagulls. I think I've gone Wires 9 to 18. So sorry, Ruben. Sorry, mate. It's not that I don't believe in you. I just think the Wires are gonna bounce back from last week, and it's gonna be a tough game for either side. But if the Seagulls get up, good on them. They're one of those teams that
just because you've done that, I'm gonna listen to Ruben Mobbs. I'm gonna hop on Seagulls 19 plus with him. Just for that, I think he needs a bit more support here. I'll back you, Ruben. I gotcha.
Nah, Ruben, he's only doing that so he can get some votes for favorite SRL staff member, and which, by the way, we actually got to go through those survey results after this. So stick around. We'll give you a little peek behind the curtain and see what the community is saying about how they're enjoying the SRL and that sort of thing. But we'll move on now. The second game, it'll be the Rabbitohs at home taking on the Cowboys. The Rabbitohs coming off a win. The Cowboys looking for their first, and it's going to be their first away game. We'll quickly go through the lineups for South Sydney. Number 1, Justin Plays. Number 2, Jai Collins. Number 3, Lockie Holmes. 4, Connor Bruce. 5, Kevin Dixon. In the halves, you've got Callaghan at 6, Joey Kelly at 7, their captain. In the forward pack, you've got Matt Downey 8, Aaron O'Hare 9, Aaron Leondis 10, Jordan Ford 11, Talis Riff 12, and Jesse Bennett. They're at lock 13. Off the bench, we've got Felix Stoder, Jack Sora, Lucy Driscoll making her Rabbitohs debut, and Felix Windmill skied to round off their bench. Muzz, do you quickly want to run over the Cowboys, or do you want me to do
it? You can do it.
All right.
You read so much better than me.
It's all right. You're from Penrith, so I understand. Cowboys, number 1, Chaz Dingo. Number 2, Caleb J. Number 3, Tyreek Hamilton. Number 4, Lucas Deuce. Number 5, Lenny Phillips. In the halves, you've got Jack Kyle at 6, Blake Harris at 7. Forwards, you've got Justin Monkey, 8, their captain. He didn't eat their captain. He's playing at 8 as their captain. Number 9, Tom Jameson. Number 10, Daniel Engo. Number 11, Murray. Number 12, Eddie Devon. And number 13, Simon Hunt, there to round it off. Jake Scott, Jordan Williams, Jordan Marshall, and Josh Pretlove rounding off the bench for North Queensland. And Riley, since you are the Muzbet guy, I'll quickly get you to read out your tips and what have the punters jumped on for this one?
Well, I'd love to be the Muzbet guy, Sonny. Hopefully that's what they're gonna put on my gravestone once I die. But for the Rabbitohs versus Cowboys, it's actually kind of insane. You got Cowboys 9 to 18 is such a heavy favorite here, and I'm not too sure why. Something's taken over me here. I've gone Rabbitohs 1 to 8, so I might be made a fool. But you know what? I'll back Justin Plays to have another blinder. I think that Rabbitohs are just really dominant in round 1, and I think that the Cowboys struggled a little bit, even though they were up against a very strong Bulldogs team. I don't know. I think that one big win was maybe enough to get the Rabbitohs over for a second.
Yeah, that was a dominant win, so yeah, I am surprised that it's so heavily in favour of the Cowboys. 78 votes, 60% of punters jumping on Cowboys 9-18, myself included. So stop copying me, guys. Jump on something else. We're fluctuating the market, but it's going to be an awesome game. Both teams going to put up one one spectacle faster with this. But yeah, we'll move on to your Monday night footy, which will be the Dolphins taking on the Tigers from Suncorp Stadium. The Dolphins open up at home, and we'll quickly go through their lineup. Number 1, fullback Tyler Amatangi. Number 2, Logan Seymour. 3, Cooper Speedman. 4, Craig Hustler. And 5, Jackson Chapman. 6, Hugh Snow. 7, O'Shea Olay. 8, Stace DePace. 9, Kieran Wells. 10, Sneeko Bro, their captain. 11, Diego Markazi. 12, Lockie Cox. And 13, Chris Lord. Off the bench, you've got Buster Groove, Zachariah Segarini, Declan Connell, and Shack Attack. For the Tigers, your boys, Riley. I'll quickly go over. So we've got Eli Barnes at 1, number 2, Cyrus Marks, number 3, Zach Brown, number 4, Marley Aki, number 5, Ben O'Donnell, Sione Mata Orsa at 6, Luke Thompson at 7, David Barner at 8, Maverick Keller at hooker, number 9, and yourself, Riley, captain, number 10. For the second rows, you got Lockie McKinnon at 11, Ash Crutcher at 12, and according to the team list, you've got Tim Jame at 13.
Yeah, I did actually notice that. I got a little chuckle out of that. But yeah, Tim Jame, he's no longer 2 people. It's the singular Tim Jame. We usually is on the field playing with the strength of 2 people, but tonight he'll be taking it back a little bit. It's just a singular Tim Jame this time.
Yeah, you thought one Tim James was bad. Wait till you see 2 Tim James. But off the bench, you've got Sam Lillard at 14. 15, you've got the great Jeff Keane, who's in the chat with us. So big shout out to Jeff Keane, one of our fellow Patreon supporters. 16, you've got Charlie Rossini, and 17, you've got Nathan Haas. Geez, what a game. Monday night footy. This is going to be a blockbuster one. It's hard for me to separate the two. You two are some very good sides, unchanged lineups, coming off wins. And when you put all that together, it just has the combination to be a great game. We'll quickly take a look at what the punters have jumped on. 59 votes, 45% of punters on Tigers 9-18. I myself have gone Tigers 1-8. So forgive me, Sneeko, but I don't play about my money. And I'm just backing the Tigers to get it done. Riley, what's your thoughts on this game? Who do you think we should keep an eye out for your Tigers side? And how do you think this one's going to play out?
Well, I think that's a great question. I think that any one of our players can just decide to pop off at any point. I have a feeling about Cyrus Marks this week. I think that he's a great player. He didn't get much ball in round 1, and maybe he'll be looking to make an impact here, Sonny.
Yeah, and he'll be playing in Queensland. He's a Queensland boy. He'll be looking to try and prove his worth out there. So, I mean, yeah, hopefully he can step up. I'd love to see the young bloke get up there and, maybe be a consideration for Queensland down the line when we get to that special time of the season. But that will be your Monday night footy at 7 p.m. Australian Eastern Daylight Time. So do not miss that one. Circle it in your calendar if people still use those sorts of calendars nowadays, or just lock it in on your phone. But we'll move on to Tuesday's games. And this one will take us to the foot of the mountains to open us off. Penrith back at home up against the Gold Coast Titans. So both teams looking for a win to start their season, and this is a great chance for them to do it. We'll start with the home side. Shout out to Lonnie Lawrence. Shout out to John Boy Mayava. And this is the Lucky Tour debut game for the Panthers, so that's going to be awesome for them. But we'll get going. Number 1, Raika Manu. Number 2, Shaq the Unknown. Number 3, Rawidi Komene. Number 4, Ben Cummins. Number 5, Tavita Vuvalingawa, the Fijian Fire. Number 6, you've got Charlie Butler. Number 7, you've got Dominic Stromandinoli. Number 8, it doesn't get any easier. You've got Lucky Tour playing for the Panthers. he's gone now, but he's there at the Panthers, and he's going to inject a lot of physicality through their pack. So I'm excited to see. Shout out to those. Number 9, you've got Hendrik Lynn. Number 10, you've got Lockie Sinclair. Number 11, you've got their captain, John Boy Mayava, who is starting this time, Riley. So he should be out there for the full 80. But he's sliding in the second row, so we'll talk about that in a sec. But we'll go on. Their vice captain, Lonnie Lawrence, at 12, pairing with his captain in the second row, and 13, Jackson Allison. They're in the middle at lock. Off the bench, you've got Rusty Shackelford, Justice Daly, Callum Irwin, and I think this might be the hardest name in SRL. You've got Kaleo Nalani Mahanaoluolu. Apologies if I botched that one. But for the visitors, Liam Rogers and his Titans, they've got Nathan O'Donnell at 1, Corey Goetz at 2, Harris Andrews 3, Dylan Murray 4, and Justin Dolan at 5. In the halves, you've got Liam Ryan at 6, Michael McLucky 7. Forwards, you've got Hayden Davis at 8, Matty Vaughan 9, Bruce Buckley at 10, Christian McKay, the big freak, at 11. Liam Rogers, their captain, at 12, with Mark Lee. They're in the lock spot. Off the bench, you've got Cameron Honeyman, Kyle Lewis, Jerome Daly, and Alistair Russell to round it off. Muzz, thoughts on this game, and who do you reckon's going to get up?
That's a good question. It's kind of hard to call it. I think the Gold Coast Titans, they have a lot of good things about them. So do the Panthers. I'd love to see how the Panthers go with this new team list, but I think I'd have to just go with the Titans just to be safe, because we haven't seen the Penrith Panthers with this team list. Last week they didn't put up too much of a fight either. So I think just for safety's sake, I don't play about my money. I think I might need to back the Titans here.
Yeah, me and Muzz, we don't play about that bread. We'll take a look at what the punters have jumped on, and it is 51% of punters jumping on Titans 9-18 with 65 votes. And someone just changed their vote, so whoever that is, you cheeky bugger, stick to your bet. Stick to your bet. Now it's 50%.
Pick and stick.
Pick and stick. Not that sort of pick and stick, but yeah, Titans 9-18 is the better's preferred choice. And I've actually gone Panthers 1-8. So Lonnie, don't let me down, brother. Don't let me down how I let you down on the Muzz bet. Hopefully you and your boys can get up with John Boy. I'd love to see it. But yeah, like you said, Riley, I'm expecting a close game as well. I think given that the Titans are sticking with the same lineup, they only went down by 2. You'd have to lean towards them if you're putting the money on the tips. But I like the look of this Panthers side, especially with Lecky Tour there through the middle. I think this forward pack can really, if they can click, I reckon they can be one of the best forward packs in the league. The only question marks I have is around this Lonnie Lawrence guy. No, I'm joking. I always have to have a dig at my toko. But no, in all seriousness, I think the Panthers are going to put up a good run. But we'll have to see how that all plays out. And we'll move on to the next game. We might get Anthony McDonald unmuted. I don't know who did that, AMAC. It wasn't me, I swear. But we'll go through the team list. Your second game of the Tuesday. And what a game it's going to be. The Brisbane Broncos opening up their account at home. The Cauldron will play host to this game. And we'll take a look at their lineup. Big news with their squad, but we'll get into that in a minute. For the Broncos, you've got Tyron Clay at 1, Errol Ray Romano at 2, Sonny Sharp at 3, Anthony Lee at 4, and Dylan Sharp at 5. In the halves, you've got Isaac Edwards at 5'8", Kyan Walker at 7, Anthony McDonald, their captain, at 8. And unfortunately, the team list says otherwise, but Eddie Oliver will be missing this game due to suspension. So John Bakers has been called up for the dummy half role, and I can't wait to see what Bakers can do. Hopefully he doesn't cook too much, but we'll move on. Caleb Jeff at 10, Cody Ogg at 11, Kevin Walmsley at 12, and Luke Short at 13. Off the bench, the Broncos have Tuxie Ogg, Mario McEnroe, Jose Adewi Jones, who's making his debut, so big shout out to him. And of course, Lorenzo Teresi as well, their development player who's been called up. And he's going to be chucked into the deep end against the Sharks. Mind the terrible pun. But yeah, AMAC, big news that Eddie Oliver will miss this game. And you guys are trusting John Bakers in the 9th spot, at least for the first half. But it's a big loss without Eddie. You know, people can say what they want, but he is one of your spine players, and it's going to be a bit of a tough task to try and get it done without him.
Yeah, Eddie had a really good season for us last season. He was one of our leading try scorers and one of our better ball players as well. So he might have had a bit of an off game last week, but he's usually there with good service out of that ruck position. So it's going to be a hard ask for Bakers in there to take over from him, unfortunately.
Yeah, and there is a bit of a bit of a shining light in the dark clouds in the sense that you're gonna have two young guns coming into your lineup, and they're gonna have a chance to prove themselves. So I mean, when you look towards long term in the future, those could be two players to keep your eyes out for: Jose Adewi Jones and Lorenzo Teresi. But we'll come back to you in a second, Mac. I'll quickly get through the Sharks lineup. The Cronulla side naming an unchanged lineup, albeit the 17 spot. Nahana Broughton-Thompson in at 1, Thomas Usher at 2, Cade Cowan at 3, Jake Hitchens at 4, and Michael Crimp at 5. You've got Sonny Tyre at 6, the captain, with Anthony Delaney at 7. In the forwards, you've got Justin Barisic at 8, Drew Matthews at 9, and Sabatua at 10. Jamal Kolsako at 11, Bobby Werman at 12, and Luke Malkus, the big Queenslander, they're at 13 to round it off. Off the bench, you've got Wakabayashi, Nathan Walsh, Jack Anderson, and Christian Bachigalupi. I know Muzz gave me stick for mispronouncing it last time, but I think I've got it, Seabags. Christian Bachigalupi making his Sharks debut. But yeah, AMAC, how do you think this game's going to go? And for your boys, where do you think, what's the key area for you guys to come away with a win?
Well, it was fairly clear from last week that errors were our big issue. When we had the ball and we weren't turning it over, we were able to put on a fairly decent defense. I mean, most of the points out of that first half came off the back of errors, and once we controlled that, we were able to keep the Tigers scoreless, or at least 12-0 for that first half. And then we forgot and started doing the errors again. And as we all saw, the score ballooned out to what it became. So if we can hold on to the ball, and if we can put it in the right people's hands at the right time, then we might have a chance of taking down your Sharks, Sonny.
Yeah, I'm hoping not, but I am expecting Brisbane to bounce back in a huge way. You know, the game that you guys had against the Tigers, those are one of those games where everything that could go wrong for you goes wrong, and everything that could go right for the opposition goes right. So it's not too often that the game is that sort of a game so one-sided, and I think there's going to be a bounce-back factor. We're kind of treating this like a trap game, you know, on paper, with Eddie Oliver being out and two rookies being called up. You know, the odds should be in our favor, but you just never know with the SRL. I'm not confident, but I know that we have what it takes to get it done. But yeah, the Broncos will be on the look for the comeback. And to do it without Eddie Oliver and two rookies being caught up in the space of a week, I mean, that would be huge for you guys. So hopefully we can spoil the party. Hopefully, but it's going to be a tough game. You don't want to miss it. Tuesday, 6 p.m. We'll take a look at the punters and who they've jumped on. The Cronulla Sharks, not really a surprise considering the outs for the Bronx, but they do have 62% of the votes, 83 votes on Sharks 9 to 18. And just a quick honourable mention, Tyrone Clay. He is the lone Broncos 19-plus punter with one vote, 1%. So Tyrone, he's got a lot of faith in your boys, AMAC, and I'm sure that he'll be looking to have a bounce-back game as well.
Yeah, and won't he be rubbing our nose in it if he's the only one to get some points out of that, some coins out of that game?
Yeah, he'll be loving it. But you don't want to miss that game. Broncos and Sharks. We'll move on now towards the next. Oh, sorry, Riley. I forgot to get your opinion as well. I nearly glossed over there. But any thoughts on that game?
Yeah, look, I've just got a lot of hope in both teams. I think either one of them could really take this one out. And I'm definitely not actually editing that game right now as we speak. But yeah, it's probably going to be a good one. There's no way of knowing though, really.
Yeah, you hold all the power at this moment. But you don't want to miss this game. Broncos
Yeah,
and Sharks.
you can hear the smile in his voice right now, can't you, Sonny?
He's scheming. He's plotting behind closed doors. But yeah, thank you for your opinion, AMAC, and we'll keep you around for the end of the potty. We've got a segment coming up, so just stick around if you're still here with us. But we'll move on now for the next game. Your Wednesday night games, Bulldogs and the Roosters doing battle. What a game that's going to be at Belmore, I think it is. And my mind's gone blank. Where's Team List Thursday? There it is. All right, so it will be the Bulldogs opening up at home, looking to back up a win from week 1 with another one in front of their home crowd. Number 1, Tatita Maxwell. Number 2, Angie Slugger. Number 3, Marshawn Metcalf. Number 4, Johnny Columbus. And number 5, Bunty Cambolo. Number 6, Daniel Hallier. Number 7, Joseph Jackson. And for the forwards, you've got Kobe Johnson at 8, Thomas Wallace at 9, Casey Namane at 10, Filippo Gould at 11, Cameron Hodgson at 12, and their captain Damian Moana in at 13 to round it off. The bench, you've got Jack Tedesco 14, Oos Willis 15, 16 Maiava, and 17 Tony Tornahy, their vice captain. For the Roosters, the visitors, you've got number 1 Cody Mansour, number 2 Tyler Weston, number 3 Beck Goodwin, number 4 Rayno Driscoll, and number 5 Marshall Edwards. Number 6, you've got Ethan Goodwin pairing with their vice captain Blair Curtin at 7. In the forwards, you've got Brad Goodwin at 8, Jimmy Ralph at 9, and I think I've just noticed Jimmy Ralph has been moved up to the starting squad, so good on him. Number 10, you've got Bailey Wilson, 11 Chad Johnson, 12 Milo Kerrigan, and their captain Matty Harris at 13. Off the bench, you've got Lachlan Tierney, Riley Holmes, Jasper Goodwin, and Hayden Miller. So Riley, that's going to be a huge game, a huge test for the Roosters. We spoke about it before. If they drop this game, if they lose, they will hold the record for the most consecutive losses in SRL regular season history. And you could not have asked for a tougher opponent than the Dogs.
Yeah, you really couldn't. It's a bit of an insane matchup. In fact, I actually think that AMAC was commentating this game as well. But man, it's going to be a very difficult matchup here. A big game as well. I'm expecting big things from both sides, really. I expect the Bulldogs just do what they do, and obviously, with how much is on the line for the Chooks here, you'd expect that they might just want to turn up here.
Yeah, I mean, when your backs are against the wall, all you can do is swing. So for the Roosters, they're just going to have to just swing for the fences because this is going to be a tough opposition to overcome. The Dogs coming off a narrow win, so maybe, just maybe, if you're a Roosters supporter, then there's a bit of glimmer of hope that if you can put on a performance like the Cowboys and just hold them out right till the end, then maybe they can come away with an upset win. But we'll quickly take a look at the weekly tips, proudly brought to you by Muzbet. And it is the Bulldogs with the 9-18 majority vote punters jumping on 81 votes, 62% of punters jumping on Dogs 9-18. So that's going to be a tough game for the Roosters. And yeah, the Dogs will be looking to start off 2-0. They're at Belmore. It's a hard place to play at, even harder to get a win. But yeah, I don't think it's any real surprises that the Dogs are favoured so heavily. And yeah, like we said, Riley, if the Roosters lose, they're going to hold that record that they don't want to hold. So this could be their grand final. It could be their grand final. If they lose, then yeah, that's going to be another record that they don't want to have, but will be next to their name. So yeah, hopefully Matty and the boys can turn up. I'd like to see the Roosters get up, but I just don't think it's going to happen. And yeah, we'll have to wait and see how that goes. But your final game of round 2 brings us to Newcastle. It'll be the Knights doing battle with the Raiders, and we'll take a look at their lineups very quick for the Knights. Number 1, Dom Ponkston. Number 2, Miko Rashford. Number 3, Joey June. Number 4, Bradley Parks. Number 5, Lee Simon. Number 6, Josh Butterfield. Number 7, Mike Borsons. Number 8, Koda Diab. Bo Sadler at 9. Daniel Punch at 10. Luke Driscoll, their vice-captain, at 11. Alex Christie at 12. And Big John Nanai, they're at 13. Off the bench, we've got Nathan Anderson, Ben Dishwasher, Nathan Macquarie, and Carlo Talangi. So a very formidable side for the Newcastle boys. And for the Milk, the Raiders, coming off their first win under the Wally Allen era, not Wally Lewis, as some might mistakenly refer to him as. For the Raiders, you've got number 1, Riley Flynn, number 2, Xavier Demando, number 3, Jason Lomu, number 4, Latrell Bolt, and number 5, Thomas Madonka, who I think is making his debut as a Raider. So that'll be awesome for him. For the halves, they've got Sam Herbin at 6, Dane Blaine at 7, Jordan Lewis, vice-captain, at 8, Alan Berkeley at 9, Raul Kowal at 10, Actually, I don't know if Lewis is the vice captain. It might be Kowal. But moving on, 11 Jacob Morrison, 12 Captain Wally Allen, and 13 Lennox Prakash. Off the bench, we've got Preston Beats, Harry Cheddar, Liam Schrodinger, and Liam Evans to round it off for the Canberra side. Riley, thoughts on that game? Who's going to get up between the Knights and the Raiders?
It's hard to say. Both teams had pretty impressive wins last week, and both are under new captaincy changes. I'm losing the word here, but yeah, I'm sure it's going to be a good one. Both teams have some great star players out the back and some great forwards as well. It's really hard to separate who's going to win. And Sonny, if I just take us off track here, you're I've got a little fun fact for you. All right, you ready for this fun fact?
A little tidbit. Let's go.
Yep. So if the Roosters lose this week, then Matty Harris will have been captain for the Seagulls during their longest winning streak, and also the Chooks for their longest losing streak. So Matty Harris will own both ends of the spectrum here.
Oh, Matty. Jeez. I'll tell you what, he's very decorated and accomplished, but like we spoke about
What
earlier, a bit
hasn't
of
he
a
done?
he's gone for all the records, the good ones and the bad ones. But yeah,
Yeah.
we'll just quickly go through the Muzz bets and then we'll take a look at the comments from the chat. For the weekly tips, I think it's no surprise. Oh no, sorry, wrong game. So for the Knights and Raiders, the Raiders 9-18, 64 votes, 49% of punters jumping on that one. I've actually jumped on Knights 9-18. Yeah, like I'm not trying to be that guy, I just think the Raiders did come away with a bit of luck in their game against the Waz. I don't see it happening again, but if they do get up, I think that's gonna surprise a lot of people, Riley, because on paper the Raiders, I think they were only working with 5 silvers this season, and to get a win like that against the Waz, that's very impressive. But can they replicate it? Can they back it up?
It's hard to say really. It's there's a lot of pressure on them, and oh man, it's very hard for me to call if they're going to be able to back it up or not. I think we'll all just have to watch the game and really see if they can keep that sort of energy and really show us what they've got here.
Yeah, and while we're on it, quick honourable mention to Carl Lewis and Tim James joining us in the live chat. Good to see these blokes here hanging out with us while me and Riley just talk a bunch of drill. But we'll look at the comments real quick. If you've got any questions or any comments to add, now's the time to drop them in there. If you want me and Riley's expertise, then let us know what questions you might have or what you might want to know. Ruben Mobs says backing Sharks all the way. On ya, Ruben. Now I feel bad for tipping against your boys. Next week I got ya. Kaya Foa, Sonny, are you gonna score as a 28-year-old? Clay doesn't know how to make coins. Hey, I scored one last week, so I mean that might be my one try per season. It might not get any better than that. So I don't know if I'll score this week. It's gonna be tough, but I mean I'll try. I'll try and do it for the people. And who else we got? Chad Johnson says, up the Chookies. Ruben Mob says, Raiders backline is scary. Only concern I have with their team is the lack of a halves partner for Herban. Yeah, I didn't see how they went last week, but I know Herban scored a double. I did see that one. I don't know. I think they've got a young team. They got to try and pick and stick and just build off that with what they have. Maybe in the trade period they could try and pull one off and try and get some big names to fill in for their lineup. But I think at the moment Wally will be happy with what he's got. What about you, Riley? What's your thoughts on that?
Yeah, it's hard to say. I think at the moment the thing that's catching my eye in the supporters uh comment section right now is just
We've got
Chad
an intruder.
Johnson
We've got an intruder, Joey Kelly.
making, and we do also have an intruder. I'm not so sure how Joey Kelly made it in here. He's
Free Patreon.
he might need to get escorted out. I'm not sure how he got here. The Rapidos too scary. They're imposing themselves into the supporter VC. Sonny, what have you done here to get him in here.
This is what happens when I'm in charge of stuff. I think it's the perms. I gave captains perms, so there you go,
Oh,
captains.
dear.
If you want a sneaky peek behind the curtain and jump, come on down. We're welcoming all the captains, but yeah, we'll move on. Some other comments. How good are the Tigers? Says Tim James. Very good, mate. Very good. Congrats on that try, by the way. It's good to see. I won't let you talk, Riley, because you're just like, no, I'm joking. Lonnie Lawrence, Sonny Tyre, can you stop making errors for the boys? Brother, I'm trying. All right, I'm trying. There's only so much I can do once that game kicks off, besides watch and pray for the best. So hopefully I can get across and get a try for the Musbet that's on for all us oldies out there, all us getting up towards that Mike Tyson age. Chad Johnson says, I just needed to be known I am the boldest bloke in the league. So Chad Johnson is the boldest bloke in the league. Watch out, mate. He might have competition with Mike Borson's. There is a reflection of that sculpt that just blinds eyes out there. So, yeah, we'll see. We'll see who'll be the most bold by the time the season is said and done. And we'll just scroll down a bit more. Joey Kelly says Rabbitohs are a scary team, so watch out, Cowboys. Hey, don't write off Souths. They got a good team. They got a very good team. It's not the same team from last season, so I reckon they're gonna give Cowboys a good run for their money. What else we got? Anthony McDonald says dock points for the trespass. Joey Kelly, yeah, mate, we're gonna have to give you a -5 for rudely interrupting without paying money to be in here. All jokes. We'll scroll down just a bit more.
In all seriousness, I have fixed the perms that captains can no longer join. Just FYI.
There you go, guys.
You're
Riley
welcome.
Murray, Fun Police. So change your vote for favorite SRL staff member and chuck it all on the Sonny Tyre. But speaking of
that
which,
reminds me, we gotta touch on that. Yeah.
yeah, the survey. So we'll get into the results. Maz, I'll get you to open it up as well, but I've already got it open here. So we did put out the SRL player survey for the season, and we got a lot of responses, 40 responses. Most of them came within that first night, so everyone was keen to get their thoughts and opinions on the season, but we'll quickly break it down and go through it. So here we go, the results. First question, who is your favorite SRL commentator? And the winning vote for that one, no surprise here, that Commissioner Will Kay, 11 votes, 27.5%. So Will Kay is the favorite SRL commentator according to the community. And no surprise there, he puts in a lot of hard work. And yeah, I love listening to his comms. He's well articulated, and he brings a lot of energy when he commentates games. So good on your boss. Enjoy your holiday over in India. Me and Riley will try not to burn the house down while you're gone. I did finish second in that vote with 8 votes, so shout out to everyone that voted me. Riley got 5 votes. Anthony McDonald actually got a couple as well. Eddie Oliver got 3, so maybe he made some alts and voted for him. No, I'm joking. Tim James got 2 as
Actually, Corey Boyd actually apparently
well.
did this. So that's something. We got a Corey Boyd vote, and I'm pretty sure Corey Boyd actually voted for Eddie for all 3 commentators. So there's something for you.
Yeah, and big shout out to Carl Lewis who voted me as well. Cheers, mate. Appreciate that heaps. Second favorite SRL commentator. This one was a tough race, but yours truly ended up winning that one. Sonny Tyre, 10 votes, 25% of the voters voting me as second favorite commentator. Riley, you actually got edged out by Will Kay. Will Kay won that 22.5% with 9 votes, and you had 8 on 20%. So Kay sort of robbed you on that one. But
Yeah,
yeah.
nothing new there. Kay always edging me and rubbing me, but yeah, nothing new. Very
Oh,
close between us 3. That second commentator thing it was very close between the 3 of us there.
yeah, just the way we like it. Nice and cozy, huh? Third favorite SRL commentator, and Oh, I thought it was you, Riley, but it's actually Sneeko Bro. Sneeko Balbroa is the third favorite SRL commentator with 9 votes, 22.5%. He just beat me by a vote, so he robbed me of my double there. I could have been the second and third favorite, but Riley, you were actually third in that one as well. So you got 6 votes, 15%, and Will K got 5, 12.5. So your top 3 commentators in the SRL: Will K, Sonny Tyre, and Sneeko Bro. Poor Riley. If we had a fourth vote, maybe you could have won that one. But there's a theme here that you got a lot of votes as well. So I think we'll give you fourth favorite in the votes. But yeah,
I'll
have you got
take
the
that.
survey up?
Yeah, I do.
All right, cool. I'll let you get the next few questions and stuff if you want.
Yeah, easy. Well, next up we've got what are everyone's thoughts on the halftime intros, halftime ads, and the new intros and all that. Everyone seemed to like them. We had no negative reviews on that. Most people saying great, some people saying good, only 6 people saying it's just okay, so they don't really care. But most people liked it. That's nice. I know our boys put a lot of work into that. I personally was able to avoid a lot of the hard work in those ones, but I'm still getting dealt some difficult things in other areas, just
You're
like
learning
having
from
to
me.
write all of those
Delegate,
articles.
delegate, delegate.
Delegate, yeah. Too bad it's really hard to delegate to Sonny Tyre because he tries to delegate it to someone else, and it usually just circles back to you. But
Yeah, minimal
doing
workload. Very minimal workload.
oh man, making it over to the SRL favorite staff member.
Ah, yes.
No surprise here. Sonny
The people
Tyre,
have spoken.
and he's managed to beat Will K by 1 vote. And then Will over there with 10 votes, Sonny with 11. I've managed to come in third, so at least I've made the leaderboard somewhere here. I've got 6 votes.
Honorable
Ollie
mention to Ollie,
very
he
close
got 5.
behind me
That's only because he gives us money. Nah, I'm joking, Ollie. He's a
for the
great bloke.
SRL. And Jahu as well, he got 3 votes, but although one of them was just himself.
How did Jahu
As
get 3 votes? No way. Nah, I'm
well,
joking,
he
Jahu.
got 2 votes, and 1 vote was from himself there. So take it with a grain of salt. I personally didn't actually fill out the form, but yeah, that's maybe I should have. I might have been a bit more competitive in some of these sections here. As next one is, how would you rate your experience in the SRL? Most people giving it a 5. Quite a few people giving it a 4. Only a couple 3s, and one person decided to give it a 1, and they hate the SRL. And to
Yeah,
that
we
one
should ban
person,
that
I
player.
say, you can leave, but no one's keeping you here.
We should ban him
I
for
mean,
being
it's
that one person that gave us the one. No, I'm joking. I'm joking. Hopefully we can make it a better experience for him. But the majority are saying that we're doing a pretty good job, so that's humbling to hear. Um, a lot of time and effort does go into the games. If you really, I mean, Riley, like the workload, like if you were to put it in hours and multiply that by the weeks that we do this, I mean, a lot of effort does go into it. So it's great to see that it's being appreciated, and hopefully we can continue to strive for better, more entertaining SRL. But yeah, we'll move on. Tip to win the
yeah,
premiership in
absolutely.
season 9.
Yeah.
I'll let you break it down.
I'll give you a little fun fact about this one, Sonny. I actually just put it in there so I'd know what each person that actually fills this form out, I'd know what team they actually play for. It helps out with the trolls that come in. Like, it's actually worked pretty well. I know that I'll have to look over it again, but there was one troll who I was able to narrow down what team they play for through this. But yeah, overall, Tigers are actually the winners. So of this one, most people think that Tigers are gonna win, or maybe just the most Tigers actually did
No,
this
no, no,
form. But
no, no, no. The Sharks are up there too, mate. Don't you try and claim the glory.
where are the Sharks? Where are the Sharks? Oh, they are
15%,
there.
6 votes. There we go.
Uh,
See,
I
Riley,
didn't notice them. I thought that was
he's been snubbed of
I
votes
thought
all
that was a
night,
bit of
and
a
he tried
joke.
to sneak this one. No, no. But
Uh,
according to the people, Tigers and Sharks are equal favourites to win the Prem, and the Storm and the Broncos are the next equal at 12.5% apiece. So yeah, that's very very tight, very close. You'd have to say all the boys that voted for in this one probably voted for their own team, so take it with a grain of salt, as Riley said earlier. But yeah, we'll move on, Muzz. We got one more vote question, and then we've got some questions here with some long answers, so we'll get to that. But I'll let you run this one down as well.
Yeah, and just to touch on that last one just a little bit, two teams that didn't get any votes was the Knights and the Rabbitohs. So
Ooh,
poor
tough.
form over there. Be better, be better. The league has spoken. I'm sorry, I don't make the rules.
Just to
Anyways,
quickly interject here, shout out to my good mate Dom Young. Favorite SRL players starting with D and ending in M. Dom Stram. No, I'm joking. I'm joking. Nah, I have no clue. Besides yourself, Dom, I like what you bring to the SRL, and we had a great time doing commentary for the Raiders Knights game. So if you guys are listening, tune in for that one. Dom Young on comms, the great man, and we're joining myself and Riley for that coverage on Wednesday. But yeah, here we go, the meat of the pie. We got some long answers here for these questions. We'll kick it off. Let me just alt tab out of this bit. All right. Do you like? Oh no, sorry. I quickly skipped one. How do you find the pre-game hype intros and pre-game shows for certain SRL fixtures, i.e. SRL Origin hype videos, SRL Grand Final pre-game show? 80% of the people, shout out to them, they enjoyed it very much. 17% saying I don't really watch them. And shout out to that one person who said I do not enjoy them, just give me footy. It's probably the same bloke that voted, how are you finding the SRL? That one lone voter. So there's someone here that's he's on a bit of a smear campaign. He's trying to take us down with his voting and stuff. But nah, it's everyone's entitled to their opinions, and we're not too fussed if you're not enjoying it too much. Hopefully we can make it better for you. But like we said, the majority are loving what we're doing, so it's great stuff. But we'll move on to the next one. Do you like the post-media graphics that the SRL has been putting out? What is your favorite/least favorite piece of media? We got a lot of answers for these questions, so we'll just try and go through, some of the notable ones. We got a lot of people that say they love all the content. Everything put out is amazing. Love every bit of it. Someone loves Teamless Thursday so much that they gave him a mention, so shout out to Teamless Thursday. The league player-made content are always fun, especially stuff like player interviews that simulate the real-world media side of the NRL. Although they're hard to make consistently, my favorite tends to be mock front-page news type articles. So yeah, shout out to this one legend. Sonny is a legend at graphics. I like them. Thank you so much, mate. Appreciate you. And shout out to this next legend who wrote
I
down.
knew you were gonna read this.
Yes, as long as Muzz isn't posting it. So shout out to you. But yeah,
That's just the monkey right there. He's on a smear campaign in this entire thing against me. I'm not
Muzz.
sure what I did to him. I won him a premiership, but I guess he doesn't care about that. But oh well.
Yeah, maybe it's a bit of a "what have you done for me lately" mentality, but yeah, we got plenty of love here and plenty of support from the community, so we love you guys for it. Thank you so much. We got heaps of support here. I love the little stat dump graphics that I put out with interesting tidbits here and there. We've also got some criticism as well and some things that people think we should improve, and we're not going to hide that. So we got someone who reckons that we should put out more on socials, for example, insta of game scores, ladder updates, rules and stuff. Someone put, yes, my favorite was Eddie Sinbin. I don't think that relates to the question that was asked.
I think that was Dom Young, but I think I agree, Dom. If that was you, that's a real good one there.
People enjoy the graphics. Some of them wish there were a bit more. I love the news articles. I like the graphics. They're clean. Nothing I really dislike. I love stats. So seeing stats like Eddie Oliver being most binned is interesting. Maybe end of season posts for who is most penalized, most errors, and so on might be fun. Articles and interviews are great, makes the game feel more alive, not too much to dislike, maybe more player interviews, and not posting them so closely within each other. Muzz, bit of a
All right, all right.
nudge
Well, we're
towards
not
you.
doing that anymore. That was me trying to get like 30 interviews out before Monday on the weekend. So I had a bit of a deadline there. I needed to get all of them out before the games. But that's not how we're going to be doing them anymore. Now we're going to just pick a small handful every fortnight and just have a little player interview with them and post those ones. So it's going to be a much smaller sample size. Hopefully, make it a bit more special for the players.
Yeah, and pretty much just all love from the people. Shout out to the one person that just said Sunny Tire. Thank you, mate. Got a couple of fans in here, so I love it. I love the people, and yeah, just helps me you know, glaze myself, my ego. Oh, jeez. But moving on now. Plenty of people enjoying the Mines competition as well. A lot of love for the Mines. Mines is great, pretty good, very good, interactive with many people. Get to show coaches what you're made of. Someone actually put, I got injured for half my career, sad face. So sorry to
That
that
was
bloke.
Jahu.
Oh, never
That's
mind.
Jahu there.
There you go,
Not
Jahu,
sorry.
mate. you need to work on the durability, I reckon. Nah, but shout out to Jahu. He's a great bloke. Always have good yarns with him. We did have a little bit of criticism. There was one person here who said was good but a bit rough. Games going up at 6 a.m. Not having commentary. Lots of inactive players, making the team that wins pretty obvious early on, as the winning team's players tend to stick around. Not much you can do about that though. Maybe shuffle the teams mid-season. And a lack of involvement players outside of the Mines made it feel disconnected. There should be a showcase Mines game each week, weekly bet even. So yeah, maybe something for Mike to, keep in mind as we head into the next Mines season just around the corner. But still a lot of love and support from the community. Shout out to the person who once again replied, Sunny Tire. Appreciate you as always. And yeah, no, overall it was good. We just got a few more questions now. How do you find your social experience in the SRL? Everyone loves it. It's great, enjoyable, interactive. Um, I see Muzz speak too much and ruins it. Was one of the answers that we got.
Just a monkey, you're right. This smear campaign needs to end. I'm not a fan, after everything I've done. He's just like an ungrateful little child.
Shout out to Monkey, man. Oh man. Fucking. Oh no. Oh no. I gotta edit that. Remind me to edit
Oh
that part
no,
out.
what have you done?
Live television. How
Oh
good is it? This
dear.
is what happens when you go live and you just don't compose yourself and conduct professionally. So, what's the timestamp? Now I need to put in a bleep sound when we get to 1 minute and 8. Oh, geez, we've been dribbling on for a while. All right, another 20 minutes and then we're out of here. But we'll just quickly go through everyone or majority of people enjoying it. There's been a few bad bananas in the bunch, but overall, everyone enjoys the social side of the SRL, the inclusivity, the positivity. Once again, someone wrote Sunny Tire. And yeah, besides all that, people are loving their experience, so that's great stuff to see. How would you rate the SRL staff and how they run the league? We got 5, on a scale of 1 to 5, the majority with 5, 19 votes, 4, 15 votes, and 3 for 3. So, yeah, overall, I'd say we're doing a pretty good job according to the people, which is good. And some things that you'd love to see added to the SRL: more international footy, bring back SRL 360, the Parramatta Eels. When the Mines grows further, the ability to trade draft picks. I'm actually kind of big on that one, but we'll have to wait and see how that all goes. Someone wrote the banning of Riley Murray. I'm not sure who that could
Who
have
do
been.
you think? Who do you think? A quick
Oh,
shout out to Joey Kelly who just bought Patreon as well.
oh, great stuff. Good on you, mate. Oh well, you can stay in the party now. You can stay in the party, but yeah, don't forget to get your plus 1 or +3 upgrades in as well, Joey.
+3. He got the Patreon. Big spender with the premium Patreon.
Big racks, big baller. Great stuff. Yeah, if you haven't already, jump on the Patreon. You get access to exclusive features, including hearing the uncensored version of this podcast that we recorded. We need to get some potties back. The new potty was really good. Thank you to that person. Maybe a couple of news articles, more potties, more player involvement, relegation promotion system, more chances for halves to win MVP. We actually did touch on relegation and promotion last week, so if you want to swing back to episode 1, have a listen towards the end of that potty. Will K sack. Someone would love to see Will K get sacked. Yeah, I'd have to agree, mate.
That's Corey Boyd.
I'm with you.
That's Corey Boyd.
Oh, we'll just have a look. Apparently, it's Sonny Tyre that actually wrote that. Moving on. Pre-game and post-game interviews. Again, another one for promotion relegation. Can Jack Cole make the cheerleaders hotter, please? So, Jilly, if you're listening, yeah, if you could make the cheerleaders hotter, that would please one of our members of the community.
Please. We're begging
teams,
you, Jilly.
More teams, custom or real. Way down the track, maybe add Immortals like SRL do. More Sonny Tyre. Shout out to this one great bloke who's been hyping me up all night. What else we got here? More teams, the potties, they love it. A statue of me, someone wrote. And the Lennox Prakash Award for best mid-season pickup at SimVP Awards night. But yeah.
Actually, I really like that. Actually, that's pretty good.
Yeah,
like a Dally M medal for best mid-season pickup. That's actually a really cool idea. I never thought of that. I like that.
Yeah, that could be something we keep in mind. But the last question of the survey was: do you have any other thoughts you'd like to convey to the staff? Thank you so much for all your hard work and dedication. Thank you to that person. Free my man Sonny from Muzbet3. Shout out to you, my boy. Keep cooking. Hate the Patreon ads at halftime. They are ridiculous. I refuse to join that monthly cash grab. Mate, you don't have to. You don't have to allow us to rob you of your money. You know, you can still enjoy the SRL for free. Do you have any thoughts? Riley Murray is... I don't want to bleep this one out, but Riley Murray is SH, you know what? So yeah, Muzz, you're a man of the people. The fans are loving loving you in this survey.
Yeah, they're really loving me. Actually, there is someone singing my praises a little bit further down. But yeah, that's just the monkey. I'm not a fan of him anymore. I wrote some nice things about him a few weeks ago, but it's never happening again, I reckon.
Oh, Muzz, Monkey, mate, my respect for you has elevated to a whole new level after reading all these comments. Nah, joking. Justin, he cracks me up all the time. He's a funny bloke. And we got more replies here. Just want to say I'm so grateful for what you guys do to make this a thing. And please let me in the SRL staff, please. I'm begging, mate. You had us in the first half. Not gonna lie, we hope you do appreciate it because we enjoy bringing this content out to you guys. Now I kind of gotta filter some of these because I can't read them out. But keep doing what you're doing.
This one would be hilarious to read out loud, but it would for sure cause a few problems.
This is what I'll say. We'll leave the names out. Player X and Player Y seriously need to be removed as captains. They are both immature, rude, and constantly attempting to break the rules. I don't see how they can be allowed to still be captains. Oh, mate. Yeah, look, we'll keep that in mind. But yeah, so obviously some people aren't fans of how other people be conducting their business. But we'll move on. Keep doing what you're doing. You're doing amazing. Go Storm. Oh, Riley, you finally got some love here. Riley Murray is my glorious king. There you go.
Thank
you.
Got
some
you.
praise there. The one comment out of the whole survey, but you got something, so there you go. There you go. Honestly unsure who commentates games. Most are good. Maybe see if they can budget for better microphones if they plan on it long term. I personally might consider it myself in the near future. So anyone with the cheapo mics, yeah, maybe save up a bit. Get something for Christmas. Get a blue
You've been
ball.
called out.
Get a blue ball.
Blue
A blue
blue balls.
snowball. A blue snowball.
Blue
That's what it's
balls.
called. Not the blue balls.
Yeah, get
The
some
blue
blue
snowball.
balls for Christmas. That's a nice present for you.
Oh no! This is how you know we're getting into OT. It's 10:44 p.m. and if you haven't already realized, yes, it is late. It's getting up there. Riley Murray is my king. Also, shout out Sonny, you cool. Shout out to you. Tell Muzza nobody likes him. Sonny Tyre up the chooks.
Really
Let
copping
me
it
in.
here.
Let me in 18 plus. Oh, right, Muzz, should I read this?
Read this next one, Sonny. Read this next one.
If I was a female, I'd let Sonny Tyre hit it from the back. Oh, I don't even know if I can leave that in the actual potty, but
You can
oh, man.
bleep it out and make it Patreon exclusive to hear it. Oh.
Hey, a big shout out to the SRL community. We love you guys so much. You guys, oh man, that was fun to read. We didn't even get to read all of them, otherwise we would have been here for a long time. But thank you to everyone that did submit a survey and helped us get a gauge on how things are going. You know, this is how you as a player and a member of the community, this is how you help shape the league and what we do. So if you haven't already, get your surveys in, but we will be closing them off soon. And yeah, Muzz, thoughts on that survey? A lot of great responses in there. A lot of
I didn't enjoy it, if I'm being completely honest. It seems like it almost seems like I was targeted there. I'm not too sure. But I just get that sort of vibe that maybe I'm not being too appreciated at the moment. Oh man. Don't worry, it's all good. You know, I don't take it to heart. I know you all just really love me and that's your way of expressing it.
yeah. Oh man, no, it was a good read. And yeah, you know, it's great to see that a lot of the people do enjoy what we're doing, and love the work that we put in, especially for Will K. This guy, he does work, you know, like he works a job, he's got a misso, he does uni, and he does refereeing, and he still finds time to really put this all together. So it just goes to show that, you know, the people do love what he does and what we do as a staff as well. So it's great. We really appreciate you guys as always. Just a quick mention to the comments here. We got caught up in the survey. I kind of glossed over all this stuff here, but Dom Young says, I appreciate you all for your hard work and dedication. Did I make a mistake? Nah, Dom. Nah. We read your comment, mate, and we thank you for that. You know, it does mean a lot. Dom Young should be a captain, says Kaya Foa. Joey Kelly in agreement. Dom Young next SRL captain. Who was player X and player Y, mate? We can't really release the details of that, but yeah, maybe try and do a bit of investigation, and you might find out who's being referred to here. Dom Young says, I reckon Sonny Tyre is Bro XH, the Twitch streamer. Shh, don't tell anyone.
What?
Thoughts on Fight Night?
What even is that?
I don't know. I have no clue. Did you read out my answer for how to improve the SRL? I think we might have, Sneeko, but we didn't look at the names.
If his if it was something about hating Riley Murray, then yes.
we read all the anti Riley Murray comments in there. But yeah,
all the hate comments.
And I still can't believe I messed up here. I gotta remember to edit out that expletive that I said earlier. But I mean, it's all in good fun here, and this is why we're here, to enjoy the SRL, have a bit of fun, you know, enjoy everything that comes with being in this community. And we thank you guys all so much for not only submitting your surveys and not only joining us here tonight, but just being part of the SRL, making it what it is. And hopefully you guys enjoy what we've got in store for Season 9. We've got some big plans ahead of us. Can't really peel the curtain back too far on it yet, but we will get there surely and inevitably. So, Muzz, do we have any... Actually, should we get some captains in here? Just to round it off, we've got about 10 more minutes. Should we get some captains in here to join the yarns? If there's any captains out there that want to join in, let us know. Vice captains as well if you want to jump in. And yeah, we'll open up the floor. So Riley, you might have to do that. Actually, you might have to play with the perms. I don't want to.
You suck, Sonny. Well, quickly I'll read out AMAC's question specifically for me. Oh, how do I come up with the Muzbets? I basically just sit there and just get a headache thinking of anything that I could possibly do for these. And if I can't think of anything, then I'll just do Sunny Tie to make no errors and put
Oh
in
my
Muzbet
goodness.
3.
See,
Ugh.
I don't know what I ever did to Riley to deserve that, you know, but it is what it is. He uses me as a
Oh,
pawn
it's-
to help get all the money back into the Muzbet account.
Sunny Tie, keep on doing these Muzbets until he actually makes no errors. I like that one. I might need
I
to
do not
start
like
doing
that
that.
one at all. I'm not a fan.
Uh,
My question: just how good is Jaeger Mike Huzzy? Shout out to Jaeger, man. He had a double against the Roosters. And the Jaeger fan club, they give away green wigs for free to all Finn supporters. So yeah, he's a man of the people, Jaeger. But all seriousness, I think he's gonna have a big season. I think him and Sneeko, they're gonna have a run and potentially make the blue squad for Origin. Going off their form last season, if you guys can back it up this season, make a deep run, keep Jaeger at 11. I'm sure he's going to get a call up for that blue spot sooner rather than later. And yeah, the Blues, they do have a couple players to replace. Lennox Prakash is gone. Jacob Morrison is gone. So that opens up a couple spots for New South Wales. Igor, my apologies. Igor. I don't want to wake up with a bear in my bed. So tell Igor I apologize for botching his name. But yeah, Anthony McDonald, are you there with us, mate? Do you want to join in on the yarn here?
oh,
Oh,
hey Mackie, that one survey might have been directed at you towards the mics after that one.
I'm on the phone tonight instead of the headphone.
Oh yeah,
there you go.
beauty.
Yeah, I was gonna say you could have my blue balls. I can't believe I botched that so much. Blue snowball, guys.
He's looking to move the blue balls onto someone else. He's been stuck with them for a while.
Blue snowball. Yeah, that is the mic that I got. $50, nice and cheap, quality stuff. So, yeah. Oh, geez, I can't believe I botched that one. I've had a couple of stinkers tonight. Yeah. If anyone else is keen, just let us know because we're running out of time here. We'll probably go to 11 and then we'll sign off. But yeah, we'll go through the chat real quick. Dom Young, get me and Lonnie. I'll join in about 5 minutes. All right, we'll get you on. Riley would love to handle the perms and
Oh man.
get that open so you guys can jump in. Question: how do you get rid of blue balls? Oh, jeez, I'm still trying to figure that one out. Carl Lewis says, bring in Lonnie. I want him to know I'm gonna fold him in half on Tuesday night. Talk that smack, Carl. Talk that schmack. Let him know. Let him know. Let's get a bit of beef going here in SRL chat. Why not? Jeez, I'm sure we can all handle it civilized and it won't eventuate to a server-wide argument. But Dom Young says sign Red Balls to play bench center. Shout out to Red Balls, man. Jeez, I'm gonna have to edit this bloody thing tonight, man. We might be bordering on the M-rated sort of material, so I'm gonna have to try and edit some of this stuff out, unfortunately. But Tim James says, wow, so Carl Lewis can swaz on with Lonnie, but I can't with AMAC. I mean, Timmy's right here. If you want to jump in, mate, unleash. Nah, don't do that. We don't want any beef up in here. It's been a good night. Let's keep it that way. None of this going on YouTube. Nah, it'll go up there. I'm not looking forward to the editing part because it's only going to be for one little thing. And yeah, so that's just going to add another hour of time to allocate for SRL stuff. No beef with AMAC, we solid. There we go. Yeah. All love and positivity in the chat. Thoughts on Canadian club, Riley?
Big fan. Next question.
Next question, Tim. We have beef until 8 p.m. Monday, says Nico. The Tigers and the Dolphins clash. on your Monday night footy. Scared to have beef with Muzz. I see how he cooks his steak. Get in there, Sticko.
Damn right, damn right. Hold on. You know, I'll take that because, you know, you should be afraid to have beef with me. That's all I'll say. But everyone should be able to speak now. Someone give us a little test here. Try and unmute your mic. I'm not sure if it'll work. Yeah, you might need to do a little cheeky disconnect and reconnect.
Oh, yes. Well, a quick change of plans here. We actually did open the floor towards the end of the potty for members of the community to jump in and have a yarn with us. But we couldn't go 5 seconds without an F-bomb being dropped, and then it just turned into chaos. So we're going to just round it off here. And just a quick thank you to everyone that tuned in on the Patreon, in the live chat. And to those of you watching on YouTube, thank you for listening. Hopefully you enjoyed the content as much as we enjoyed bringing it to you. That was episode 2 of the Commissioner's Lounge, and it's always great to give you guys a little peek behind the curtain. And yeah, hopefully we didn't bore you too much with the dribbling, but myself and Riley Murray, thank you once again. If you're listening to this on YouTube, tune in to SRL TV tomorrow when we kick off the action with the Warriors taking on the Sea Eagles in round 2's opening game. Monday, 5 p.m. Australian Eastern Daylight Time. Don't miss it. And yeah, we'll see you guys back on the Commissioner's Lounge next week for more SRL content. Until then, Sonny Tyre signing off alongside my good mate Riley Murray. He was such a fan favourite tonight, especially after the surveys, wasn't he? But we love bringing it to you guys. So we'll see you again soon. Stay safe. Look after yourselves. And we will see you back here on SRL TV.